Hey, another stream today. Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody's having a good day and a good week so far. Just checking here, making sure we're live. I know that we had this AWS outage. I'm not exactly sure why the AWS outage happened. I know it had something to do with some DNS settings or some DNS misconfiguration that built up some large queue of retries, and that had some sort of cascading effect. Today we're going to be working on a bunch of fun stuff here. So today what we're going to be working on is we're going to be embedding the 3D event visualization into the coaching front end, which will be really cool. We're going to try to clean up the coaching PDF. Excuse me. We're going to try to add live video to our mobile app. So here's the mobile app, and we'll try to add live video to that today. Let's see. We're going to try to optimize the 3D event reconstruction. So this 3D event reconstruction takes a bit of time sometimes. So we're going to think about doing this today. We want to publish our Blue Cactus AI website. So when you guys see me actually working in the web app, usually I'm working with a domain called getparty.ai. So I have two different domains, two different AI domains. One of them is getparty.ai and one of them is bluecactus.ai. The idea with the getparty.ai domain is eventually use it maybe as a conferencing tool and create a subdomain called sales.getparty.ai and have it kind of a meetup tool. So for any business that I have, I could use that link for conferencing or scheduling. But right now we're using that domain on our staging server, and this is the telematics video product. And then we're also going to be building the agents business. And this is something I'm really excited too about this stream and getting pumped up about B2B, vibe coding B2B AI SaaS apps. So also we're going to be investigating why there's no speed on DSM and ADAS events. And we're going to be reviewing the speeding alert code and prepare to push to production. We're going to add smart event filters to the report. So we just recently integrated these things called smart events, or these events called smart events. Then we're going to add smart event alerts and media error and NVS alerts. We fixed a CSV export tool that actually had a side effect and caused something in the mobile app to break. So we're going to look into that. We're going to make sure the coaching PDF is accurate. Try to remove any non-important objects. And let me make sure I get my Twitch chat up here too. And then we're going to fix the device manager and login screen with better error messages. So now when customers go to log in, if they use a duplicate email address, it throws some non-user friendly error message. So we may try to clean that up. We might not get to all of these items today, but we'll just start trying to take each one of them down here. So this is the mobile app. We're going to be working with this today. So we have the home mapping on the mobile app. We have events. So you can come in here, look at any event. It's interesting, but AWS is definitely moving pretty slow today because this is calling my backend service right now, and this definitely doesn't take that long. And also the embed is not coming in here. Let's try a different one. Let's try this fatigue. This should be me yawning. Okay, there's the 3D simulation, so you can see that there. Right now, it's only showing one video, unfortunately. It's the video at the at index 0. And so back to the domain. So again, the getparty.ai domain, I'm using it for the telematics video business. And using it for that staging server. And then the Blue Cactus AI domain, we're going to be using for the agents business. And I'll show you that website today. We're eventually going to be running that service or that platform on a Kubernetes cluster. But just to make it easy, we may just host it on S3 for now. Just because we're live streaming, and anyone that wants to reach out to me, I want them to be able to go to bluecactus.ai and fill out a contact form. Okay, so let's see. So back to the mobile app. So these are events, right? Then we have footage where we can request footage, and a logout button. And we have some customers that are requesting live video from their mobile device. So right now, from inside the app, you can look at live video. So let me go to our app here. Okay. So it's interesting, but even when I click map here, there's a significant delay. I'm pretty sure it's an AWS networking thing. Because this is taking unusually long. Okay, so yeah, so in our web app, we have a live video option. So a customer can request to watch live video, but we don't have this functionality inside of the mobile app. So we'll probably be working on adding that today. So again, just going through the tasks here. Add live video to the mobile app. So we'll be working on that. Also embedding the 3D event simulation. So you can see here in the mobile app, we actually have this 3D event simulation here. And let's see if... sometimes if there's not enough GPS data, here's what the simulation looks like. And we got to figure out why it's taking a long time sometimes, but pretty much really AWS is really seems to still have a pretty significant delay. So let's see if we can get this to work here. Okay, there we go. So the idea with the 3D event reconstruction is to move this vehicle at a relative speed. So to give a fleet manager some perspective when he's reviewing the event, to try to understand how fast the driver was actually going in that context. And if that speed is relevant or not for that specific event. And it kind of helps you visualize how significant the event was, or if the event was real or not. So what I'm going to do now is first we're going to use Grok. We never really used Grok, so I'm going to use Grok today just to try it out a little bit. Try Grok Code Fast 1. So I'm going to drop this link in here, and I'm going to say, can you go investigate how we're handling this event reconstruction and see where this code is located? And guys, I'm using Whisper Flow to do speech to text. So vibe coding live here. Right now I'm using GitHub Copilot. We just switched to Grok Code Fast 1, and we're having it try to locate some code for us. And guys, and if you're new here, we've also been working on this coaching. So let's see if we can get to the coaching tab here. Okay. So here you can see these are analysis that we're doing on dash camera events. So pretty much we have dash cameras in vehicles. These dash cameras can do live video, events like hard turn, accelerate, shock, severe shock, following too closely, forward collision warning, lane departure warning, distraction fatigue, stuff like this. And what we're doing is we're taking these events and then we're doing object detection on them and doing an AI analysis on these different events. And so these cameras have different channels. So they'll have a forward-facing channel, a driver-facing channel. Sometimes they have side cameras. So here you can see me. This is me in my vehicle. And you can see it's detecting me as a person here, which is pretty cool. And I'm picking up my phone here, and it actually detects the cell phone in here. And this is really what we're interested in right now is distracted driving. So cigarettes, seat belts, anything that's really going to get the driver distracted. And so what we're doing is we're adding this event reconstruction into this coaching platform right now. So the user will also have visibility into this event reconstruction, which can help them pretty much make take some type of action from the data and have as much context as we can deliver to them in an accurate and responsible way. So let's go back to, and also guys, we're doing a little AFK old school RuneScape. So we're grinding on these gemstone crabs. Let me come over here and just training up some range right now on this gemstone crab. Okay, so let's see what Grok said here. Okay, data retrieval, real-time animation. Okay, Scrubby V2, got it. Okay, if we wanted to include this 3D event reconstruction in the coaching service, how would we approach that, and what would the difficulty of that be? We would need to, I guess, have some type of identifier to identify the event in the coaching service and then go build the reconstruction. Help me think about this. And hey guys, if you're just joining on YouTube or Twitch, we're working on a few different things today. So we're going to be trying to embed this 3D event visualization into our coaching front end. We're going to try and clean up our coaching report so you can see. Man, look at that. Still experiencing a lot of delay because of this AWS service interruption. But here you can see this is a critical event review. And so we're building these reports, and we're just going to use AI to see if we can clean up some of these reports. So let me close that. Yeah, so we've got embed the 3D event visualization into coaching, clean up this PDF. I'll go through it once more. Add live video to mobile app. we'll try to optimize this 3D event reconstruction. So you can see on this event, for some reason, there was still a delay. Let's try to click another one. And this is what I mean when I say try to speed. See, this one, it happened a lot quicker. The event reconstruction. And sometimes it has difficulty playing this, and we got to understand why. So we have publish, let's see, optimize the 3D event reconstruction. That's what we just discussed. This is publishing Blue Cactus AI, and I'll show this to you guys a little later in the stream. I have a website. Blue Cactus AI is primarily going to be a new B2B agents business that we're going to be building together live on stream. When you see GetParty.ai, that is this telematics video business that we're also going to be working on during the stream. So investigate why there's no speed on DSM and ADAS events. So one thing I'm noticing is, this one had a speed, but the address, looks like there's an issue with the address too. So why no speed and no address? Let's see. Then we have some speeding alert code. So we did add speeding alerts. And look at that. When I click alerts, and I've never noticed this until this AWS outage. And I hope it's not a side effect from some vibe coding stuff that we did, which I don't think it is. I'm pretty almost certain. I didn't really notice this behavior until I heard about this AWS outage. I mean, there we go. We just clicked it again, and not a lot, pretty serious delay there. But yeah, so you can add in alerts, right? And these are real-time alerts. So we have like historical reports and also real-time alerts. And so we're going to be working on deploying that. Add smart events filter to the report. Add smart events alerts. So right now, like, this is considered a smart event. This driver state monitoring distraction event. We're going to work on a little bug that we have. One change that we made in another stream had some side effects. We're going to make sure the PDF is accurate. And then we're going to do some kind of housekeeping on the device manager and the login screen. So again, if you're just joining, we're working on getting this event reconstruction into our coaching front end. And bear with me today, because of this AWS outage, it looks like there's still a pretty significant delay on any web page that we're visiting today, which is interesting. But let me see if I can go to our coaching front end. Okay, so this is the coaching front end, and you can see these coaching events. And pretty much we have a dash camera that triggers events, and then we'll run AI analysis on those events. And we'll also build these 3D event reconstruction. So we build this 3D simulation of the event using some location data and other data that we have available, speed data, to try to build this reconstruction. And so pretty much we're taking this and we're going to embed it, into our coaching front end. So that's our 3D simulation, and here you can see this is the coaching analysis, and here you can see this is the forward-facing cam catching these objects here, and then you're going to see it catch me. And guys, we're vibe coding B2B SaaS apps on this channel. And so really a channel for anyone that's interested in tech, vibe coding, AI, entrepreneurship, stuff like that. Now let's go back to Grok and see what it says here. Okay, integrate. Will we have event ID available? Can you review the mobile app code to see how we fetch that event ID and see if we'll have that data available in the coaching service? So this is Grok Code Fast 1, guys. Normally I've been using Codex and a Sonnet 4.5. Also, guys, today we're going to look at Atlas a little bit. We may try to use Atlas to do some debugging, which should be pretty cool and fun. Or have it go into agent mode and actually navigate the app for us. Maybe open up the dev console, review the console log. So Atlas is a new OpenAI browser that OpenAI just released. Hold on, it's got some... Okay. Oh, hey, sorry. Yawn detected. Wonder if they're related. Cool app. Hey, Halcon, I missed your messages, but thanks for being here. Okay. Grok's still working on it. Guys, we'll be using Atlas too. So one thing I want to do with Atlas, and Atlas is the new browser that OpenAI just released, but I want to, we're going to go to our site and we're going to use agent mode. I only have 5 requests left right now. I almost hit the limit already, which is kind of unfortunate, but let's see if we can, man, AWS. Okay. Yeah, so this is Atlas, and what we're going to do is we're going to use agent mode today. I'm going to use agent mode. I'm going to have it try to open up the dev console and maybe do some debugging for us on stream, which should be kind of fun. Let's minimize this for now. Let's come back to Grok. Okay. Grok has an answer here. OpenID availability. Okay, review the accounts service and the coaching service and let me know what you think we need to do to get this argument event media ID passed in the request object to the coaching service so the coaching service has it available. Do not take any action yet. Just think deeply about this problem and let me know your thoughts and best approach. It's a pretty tough problem I'm kind of throwing at Grok here. Kind of interested to see if Grok can figure this out. Okay, so Grok code is pretty concise so far. Okay. So I'm gonna have it. Okay, go ahead and check Git status in the account service and the coaching service. Okay, I like how it did that without a problem. Okay, let's check out to a new branch in each service with an appropriate name, and then we can work on getting this media ID argument passed in the request object together. Okay. Okay, good. Very good. It knew I like how it's giving me these git commands in a very simple way that I'm familiar with. One thing I noticed about GPT-5 Mini is it comes up with these crazy git commands. I mean they're not crazy, they're very sophisticated, but they're almost like a bit too sophisticated for me. Okay, so it added the data type. Hmm, kind of a little concerning what it's doing here. Exactly. I'll have it explained to me exactly. I don't even know if we're using poetry. Before we do all this, tell me exactly what changes you just made and why they were necessary and why we need poetry. I'm not sure that this project was even using poetry. Didn't answer my question. Hold on, did you see my question? Yeah, I'm confused why you had to add a .env import when I am not asking you to import anything from an environment variable. Yeah, it was malformed, I guess, after you made your edits. Is that right? Okay, I understand adding this to the generation request model, or that object, whatever you want to call it. Event media ID field and metadata to store it with the artifact. To fetch and store reconstruction data. Huh. Why do we need to fetch and store reconstruction data? We can do it live, right? Or what exactly are we storing? Yeah, we're not snapping that many GPS points. I don't think it's that many. What? Yeah, I'm confused of how you store the reconstruction because we have to use the Google API to snap the breadcrumb to the roads, but this all happens in the browser, right? So help me understand. Okay, so you're just storing the snapped coordinates? Okay, but I don't want to overcomplicate this. I want to implement this in the most straightforward, easy way possible. To me, right now, that means just getting this argument inside of the request object from the account service to the coaching service. And once we have the media ID, we can just use that URL to embed the reconstruction inside of an iframe or whatever is best. What are your thoughts on this? So using Grok Code Fast 1, guys. Whoa. I'm confused of why you even need to store the URL. Go look at the mobile app code again, and we just take that URL and we just embed it in an iframe. Why do we need to store it? I guess we could do it at runtime, right? Like when the user selects that they want to see the event reconstruction, we can just append that ID to the URL and then embed it in an iframe. What are your thoughts? Am I way off with this? Yeah, we don't even need it in the coaching service. Yeah, we don't even really need to handle this in the coaching service, right? All of this can happen in the front end. The only thing we need is the media ID to be available in the front end, right? Can you do option A and option B? I want to send the reconstruction URL to the communication service and have that come in the email and also have it available on the front end. Hey guys, if you're just joining, we're working on our coaching solution. So we have dash cameras in cars, and we run an AI analysis on the dash camera events. And bear with me, guys, everything's moving a little slow. I guess there's still a pretty significant backup in these AWS network queues. But anyways, this is a dash camera event. We're detecting objects in the event, and we're doing an AI analysis. This is me in my car. It's detecting me. It's detecting my seatbelt as a handbag. It should detect my phone in one of the frames here. I'm about to put my phone up to my ear. It caught the phone there. And then you can look at these coaching reports that we're building for drivers using all of the information that we learn after doing that AI analysis. And pretty much we're trying to embed this 3D visualization into this coaching analysis so fleet managers can have more context when they're reviewing an event. Let's see. Okay, did you make a new branch in the communications service and commit those changes? Or let's commit any new changes that we made in all of the appropriate repositories. Guys, I'm gonna grab another cup of coffee real quick. Well, it made the change on the branch main, which is fine, I guess. Did you commit the changes in the communication service? Check out to a new branch before you do it. Um, okay, let's commit these changes. And then let's push. Okay, go ahead and push the latest commits in the communication service, the coaching service, and the account service. Push them all to origin. Okay, I'm going into GitHub. And we're going to merge this stuff into main. Okay. What about the next TS service? Do you need to make any changes in that service? Coaching. Let's go to accounts now. Create a pull request and then merge that pull request. Merge this pull request. Confirm that merge. Yeah, we want to do this. Yeah, we want to go ahead and do this. Make these changes to next TS. Okay. Good, it's making a new branch. It's pretty good at Git. You know, Git's not a complicated thing, but when I see GPT Mini 5 come up with these super complex Git commands, which it's like it's sophisticated, it's intelligent, so it's really coming up with some sophisticated Git commands, but it's a little complex for me sometimes when I know that a more simple Git command would do the job. Go to communications. Communications. Merge this. It's about to make the changes to the front end. So a couple things just happened. We should now inside of our coaching front end, hopefully we'll have a button that'll say view event reconstruction, and that will take you to a modal of the event reconstruction. Okay. All right, so GitHub Actions for all of these repositories is starting to build the image now. Let's go to the front end repository. Okay. Let's see accounts. Okay, the account service is done being merged, and the latest Docker image is on Docker Hub. Can you do a rollout restart with kubectl on the accounts deployment? You can look at the pod YAML file to find the deployment name. Nice. Okay, that was restarted. Coaching still being built. Let's look at account. The front end still being built. Let's go to the communication service. Go to the communications repository. And take a look here. Let's see. Actions. Okay, that's done. Okay, go ahead and do a rollout restart on the communications service. Good. See if the next TS. Okay, go ahead and do a rollout restart on next TS. Okay. Coaching service is still building. We're using the Torch Hub package, so it takes a minute to build that. Waiting for the coaching service to finish building here. Okay, its service is still building. Guys, so pretty much we're trying to get this event reconstruction. And because of the AWS outage, guys, every single, there's a delay almost every time I refresh any page. It's pretty unbelievable. But still seems like there's like this massive backlog of requests or something, and a significant delay still. Like right now, this is very unusual for this page to take this long to render. Let's see. Let's make sure that this the pod's not crashed or something. Man, even my kubectl, oh, there we go. I mean, no pods are down, no pods getting any restarts. Pretty crazy, guys. If anyone knows anything about the AWS outage, feel free to talk about it in chat. I'm really interested in what's going on. Normally some of these events are working a little. They're rendering faster, these S3 videos. Here's my footage page, but my back end, all the requests that hitting the back end right now. There we go, look. Man, unbelievable. Look at that. Taking a unbelievably long time. Okay, so pretty much we're trying to get this, and here it's coming here too. Let's click another. There's no location data because I'm inside a parking garage. Let me see. What about here? There we go. This is a good one. Cool. So you can see, here's this 3D event reconstruction inside of the mobile app. And I don't know why I can't play it here. I'm able to play it on my actual mobile phone, and we need to look into that. But here, let's try to... And it could be this AWS. I don't know if there's an issue right now or if it's AWS, to be honest. But let's see if we can get this to play here. Yeah. I think it's AWS, guys. Anyway, so what we're trying to do is, if I come to coaching, we're going to include this event reconstruction or this 3D simulation in the coaching report. So if anyone's new here, guys, we have dash cameras in vehicles. And so these dash cameras trigger events. It's like today, I was driving, I went to the grocery store today, and I triggered these different events. So you can see here, I can watch any one of these events. Okay, that's when I went inside the grocery store. Let's see. Okay, here's when I'm driving. So pretty much, a fleet manager can review events that they have. And so these events will trigger things like quick acceleration, quick deceleration, erratic lane departure, accidents, fatigue, distraction, phone use, smoking cigarette, no seatbelt, right? And so they can decide to... Let's see. Which one was that? Not that one. It's this one. Okay. It wasn't the best one. Let's try this one. Okay. So this one, I'm going to run the analysis on. So pretty much I could say run coaching here. And let's double check. Okay, that's the right one. So I can click run coaching. And we'll actually, let me open up the log so you guys can see the log too, if you're interested. See if we can get the coaching log pulled up here. It's like even this Kubernetes command seems to be taking some time. So here we go. I'm gonna run this report. Hit OK. And here you can see, here's the logs. We're queuing video generation and processing this event, DSM distraction. And then we're gonna see when this is done. We're gonna see it inside of the coaching report. And let me see if the coaching service is done building. So the coaching service is actually done building now. And who knows, this might not work since we did make some changes to a couple services. So there may be an issue here, but let's see if it works even with those latest changes we made to try to include event reconstruction. I'm not sure if there might be any breaking changes in that code that would interrupt this. Doesn't look like it so far. Let's see if it sends this coaching email. It might have got an error when sending. Oh, no, there it goes. Nice. So now when I come to coaching, look at this, guys. Failed to fetch. That's AWS. Unbelievable. There we go. Boom. Okay, so we got it. Here's the latest one. You can watch the video. And please like and subscribe, guys. It really helps a lot. It helps push this content out to more viewers. And anyone that has subscribed so far, I really appreciate it. It really helps a lot. And I'm glad that you're here in the journey together. We're on this journey together of vibe coding B2B AI SaaS apps. And we're actually going to be building an agent's business together live. So that should be pretty cool. But let's go ahead and let's check the coaching service and see if that image is done building. Okay, it's done building. Let's go back to Grok. And okay, can you do a rollout restart on the coaching service? Okay, this pod takes like 2 minutes to start. It always gets handbag for the seatbelt, which is pretty cool. Like this model right now, it doesn't detect seatbelt as an object, and that's one of the things we might do on this stream too, is start training the model to detect other objects that are relevant. So really for a fleet manager, anything that a driver's doing in the cab of the vehicle that could be distracting is not good, right? So really any object that we can detect inside the cab that could be distracting, right? So maybe some fleet managers don't want their drivers smoking, others don't care, right? But a cigarette might be like an object that we want to detect, and this current model does not detect cigarettes. So like that's an example of something we might do together, or at least learn about how to do that together. Also, let's see if we can pull up this report. Okay, so driver was involved in a DSM distraction event. The following objects were detected in close proximity of the vehicle. So it's getting my seatbelt as a handbag. And it did get a car, right? It's getting my, and I need to just remove some of these objects is what we're going to do, but it also got a car in the video, right? It didn't detect any phones in any of the frames in the video. And then we're creating these coaching questions for the driver, right? So how did the presence of various objects in close proximity to your vehicle impact your focus and attention? Here it's referencing the suitcase, which is not good, and we're gonna remove that. And then it gives some suggestions for safer driving. All right. And it thinks it's kind of interesting because it thinks that we have like a suitcase in the cab of the vehicle right now. And so it mentions something about storing items securely in the trunk, which is kind of cool, actually. Let's see if this rollout restart's done. Interesting. Maybe the pod might have not started. No, it rolled out. Okay, so what do we need to do to test this? Should I make another request and you can open up the logs? Okay, open up and follow the logs, and then I'll make a request from the front end. I'm impressed with some of the grep that, and this isn't really a grep, this is using kubectl, some find flags to help find, I guess, different columns or different data associate or different metadata associated with a deployment or a pod, but it's pretty good at this. Pretty impressed, actually. Let's see if it can like tail two logs at the same time. Nice. It opened up two different terminals to... It's weird that there's no... Yeah, it's kind of weird that we didn't see the 50 lines of the tail, right? Oh, here we go. Took a minute. Okay. All right. Now we're going to do another one from the front end, guys. So let me go to reports, critical event, generate. Okay. Here's a DSM fatigue event. Okay, let's go down. There we go. Let's see if I pull up my phone in this one. Okay, I have my phone up. Good. Was that this one? Let me just triple check. Okay. Okay, nice. All right, so let's run coaching on this one. Boom. Nice. Okay, so we should see we should see all the data in the log is a little delayed too, I think. Oh, there we go. It's like even that request to come and hit this service, normally it's instantaneous. Some type of like unbelievable backlog, I guess, at AWS. Really makes you realize how centralized we really are. Almost, many of the services that we all use day to day are all hosted on AWS. Okay. It sent the data to the communication service. View reconstruction. Nice, nice. Okay, it doesn't have the event ID here. Okay, I see the event media reconstruction button, but I don't see any event media ID in the URL. Can you add detailed logging so we can debug this together? Also, review the logs to see if you can find any discoveries that will give us some learnings to understand why media ID is not in the URL. Let's make sure the other the video still works. I don't think the coaching alert, if that's the right alert. Actually, I don't know if the latest alert has come yet. I get an email alert. Pretty much we have this front end, and then we also have an email alert. Does it get my phone in the video? Hold on, that was important to see. Let me see if it gets... It's important. I'm really trying to get this phone on the object detection. When I put this phone up to my ear, getting that is important. So this is the forward-facing channel, and then we have this channel right here. So it's getting my seatbelt as a handbag. And it's pretty accurate with that. I'm yawning. That's why this caused a distraction event. Okay, got my cell phone. Good. Okay. So if I come to the report, wow. I don't know if that's a side effect or if that's AWS right now. There we go. Okay. Driver was involved in a DSM fatigue event at a speed of 68 miles per hour. The following objects were detected. So we got the handbag. The chair's not relevant. Person. That's me in the car. And then the laptop. And a cell phone. And we got the phone in 3 frames. And the driver detected in 55 frames. Where did it get the person? I missed it. I wasn't paying attention. I mean, this is the person, me. I guess maybe it's just saying, hey, that was the person detected in the scene. In this case, the person is not, if it's the driver. But what's cool about this is you could figure out how many drivers were in the cab of the vehicle. But let's keep working with Grok here. We need to commit those changes and then push to origin. Then I'm going to have to wait for the image to build and do a rollout restart. So guys, one thing I really got to do offline is is get set up completely locally. So the thing is that we have like hardware and software. So I'm ingesting like binary data, and we have a web server that does that. And so usually that's why I kind of, even the staging server, I have it deployed in the cloud to try to actually mimic production. And we have a lot of, and I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this, but pretty much a lot of requests going back and forth on the web between services. And we have partners that are sending these webhooks as binary data. And it's my understanding that it's kind of difficult to set up these endpoints locally on your local machine, right? And that's why services like ngrok exist. And I need to look into ngrok a bit more. Okay, we're adding detailed logging, guys, to understand why the event reconstruction didn't work. Okay, we're pushing logging right now to 3 different services: coaching, accounts, and our front end service. I'm gonna go ahead and create PRs in each one of these services and merge them into main here. Guys, if you're just joining, we're working on our coaching analysis. So we have dash cameras and vehicles, and these dash cameras record events. And we're using open source models to do analysis on video events. And then we're building coaching reports for drivers using this context that we have from this AI analysis. And right now we're trying to embed a event reconstruction. So the event reconstruction looks like this. So we use some available location data to draw this path line on the map. This is using a tool that integrates with Google Maps to do a 3D simulation on the map. And pretty much I'm trying to add this, and this is a little wonky. And one of the things we're going to do is try and figure out why this has some issues. Well, see if we can get one to play here. Let's go. Okay, here you go. Not sure it's gonna act nice for us right now. I think to be honest, I think it's AWS taking an unbelievably long time to return the data from the back end. Okay, let's try it one more time here. Give it a second. Yeah, I think that's AWS. Let's see. Where's my inspect? Yeah, the WebSocket connection failed. Yeah, the socket's not opening. That pod is up right now. I know it is. Oops. Where's my scrubby logs? It's gotta be AWS. Let's make sure we opened all of our PRs here. Socket connection succeeded. Sorry guys, this AWS kind of tripped me up a bit, because sometimes I'm thinking, oh, maybe there's a some type of issue that's related to our logic, but it looks like, okay, here we go. So here guys, this is what I wanted to show you. So we're trying to add this 3D event simulation into our coaching front end, right? So if I come back to the coaching front end, the idea is for this event, so for one of these events, and let's play a better one here, we'll have that 3D coaching simulation. Let's make sure we got all our PRs done here. TS. Let's make sure we open that up here. Okay, if Grok can do this, I'll be happy. Nice, guys. Waiting for the Docker images to finish building, and then we'll proceed here. We could have Codex, guys, working on maybe another problem at the same time. But then things can get a little hectic. I was considering what I might do is have Codex start thinking about another one of these problems here. Let's what we can do is let's open up our notepad here. I want to start looking into this this 3D event reconstruction, or just how we could optimize it. So I'm going to go Codex. I'm going to say let me grab the actual link. We have a 3D event reconstruction simulation, and I want you to review this code and see what we could do to improve the performance. This code opens up a WebSocket on a service Scrubby v2, and that WebSocket is used to return a buffer so the user can slide the progress bar back and forward. I want you, it takes a while for this reconstruction to render in the browser, and I want you to review this code and let me know what we could do to improve the performance. I do not want you to take any action yet at all. Okay, we're gonna let Codex start working on this while we're using Grok. So we'll have Codex. Exceeded retry. I thought I hit my limit, but I don't think that's a limit problem. Okay, so Codex is working on that while we wait for the images to finish building. Okay, accounts is done building. Next TS is done building. I'm gonna tell it. Okay, go ahead and do a rollout restart on the front end service and also the account service. The image is done building. And thanks for being here, guys. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps a lot, helps push out the content to new viewers. But again, thanks for being here, if you are still here. And I'm really open to any questions and comments, so feel free to chat too if you want. Check the coaching service is still building. Huh. Wait, so what happened? What is this? Stream error, exceeded retry limit. Is anyone familiar with this error in Codex? Is that me? Let me see, let me see if we're logged in. /status. Oh, I'm signed in. Is anyone having any issues with Codex right now, or is Codex down? Let's try it again. I wish I knew what session. How do you see sessions? Can you see old sessions in Codex CLI. Okay, it's kind of annoying. I already cleared the terminal chat. I want you to review the code or the logic that we use to handle this 3D event reconstruction. Do not take any action. I just want you to understand how this code works. Let's see if this is a persistent issue or what. Yeah, stream error. It's like I'm not logged in or it doesn't have my credentials or something. Search online for Codex issues right now. Huh. That was reported August 29th. Any errors reported today? This one looks similar to my issue. All right, let's see if the coaching service is done building. Okay. The coaching service is done building. Go ahead and do the rollout restart. Let me can't shut down terminal. Let me open up terminal again. Can you review the code that handles this 3D reconstruction? I want you to understand it, but don't take any action. Just understand the code. Trying one more time, guys. Interesting. Stream error. Exceeded retry limit. So it's it's almost like I need to log out of Codex or something and then log back in. But anyways, let's just do this rollout restart on the coaching service. Okay. We're going to run the status command. Looks like someone opened up an issue on GitHub. Wow. Is that all today? Holy. Logging back out and in. How do you do that? How do you log out of Codex? Okay, there we go. Try this. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm trying to log out here. Hold on. If anyone knows how to log out of Codex, please put it in the chat. Anyways, I don't want to spend too... Let's see if this is done here. Okay, the coaching backend is rolled out. I'm gonna say... Okay, good. Go ahead and open up the logs. I'm gonna do another test request from the front end, and then I want you to review the detailed logs that we added so we can fix this together. GPT-5 is not responding here. We can ask Atlas too, guys. How do you log out of Codex CLI? Okay, /. Let's just try this log out, log out. Okay, let's do this. I guess once you log in, you shouldn't have to log out. I just read this guy said logging out and logging back in fixed it. So I was just gonna try to do that. Okay. May not close this page. There we go. Took a log out. I had to log back in. Okay. Let's see if, while Codex is working on that, let's see if Grok is done with this. It's about to open up the logs. Grok is. Okay, logs are started. Might do I don't need it on the front end. Okay, so back to reports. Let's go to inspect. Let's go to console. Let's go back to reports, critical events. If anyone else is experiencing some major delay from the AWS outage, please let me know. I want to know it's, I know it's happening to everyone, but it'd be comforting to know if someone else put it in chat that it's happening to them in their system. Even these S3 videos are taking a long time to load up here. Here we go. Yawning big time there. Okay, let's just do this one. Let's see what this one is. Okay, this one's better maybe. Alright, let's go ahead and run this. Event media undefined. Event media ID is undefined from the front end. Are we going to need to have the account service get this using a SQL query? I know that the way the mobile app works, I think maybe when we go to fetch the events, we return the media ID using the provider, or the SQL query logic is joining the appropriate table and column. Investigate this and let me know what you think. I might wait for it to finish so it can look at the logs. Also, review the logs. I just sent the new request. Okay. I just saw the alert come in. The alert is not sending the event URL either. But that's okay, maybe for now. It should. I don't know why it's doing that restart again. Maybe it figured out the pod doesn't have what it needs or something. Or the pod is not the latest Docker image. Sometimes you do the rollout restart and either it didn't successfully pull the image, or for some reason when it tried to deploy that image into the into the pod, there's some issue. It's happened to me before where I know that I pulled the latest pod. Oh. Well, that's a timeout from AWS there. Oh, I don't know what this is. What is this for? Why are we needing to add this? Maybe that could happen when you're next to me. I just want to see the same things you can see. Okay, how is the event media ID getting returned to the mobile app? Are we using a different controller and accounts to fetch these events? I'm okay with adding the media ID to the returned object so the critical events report has that available on the front end. But I'm more curious how the mobile app is doing it today. So what we're doing is to get this event media reconstruction, we need this event media ID. And right now, when we run this critical event report, in the returned object, or the request that's returned from the back end for this service, it does have event media IDs. The critical event report data, or the data that's returned from that controller, does look like it has media IDs. Is this what we need? It's insisting on pushing. I don't like how it continues with this. I kind of didn't want it to continue. Oh, it's okay, let's just do it. Um, but the front-end TypeScript interface. Oh, it doesn't have a... It has media. It has event media. Hold on. I'm confused because this object does have a key called event media ID. Why can't we just use this? Why did we have to add this JSON serialization? Couldn't say that word right there. Yeah, I guess help me understand why this parameter or this data variable that we're classifying here has to be a JSON property. But instead of using camel case, can't we just use lowercase on the front end? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not that concerned about... Yeah, let's not worry about the camel case naming convention now. Let's just do it the easiest way possible. Adding this new JSON property library and annotating it seems more complicated than necessary. Now it's removing it. Good. Let's see what Codex said, guys. I didn't even... It's not a Maven. Okay, commit these changes and push to origin. Just creating these PRs, guys. Okay, just created the PRs. They're merging. The branches we created are merging into main. And Docker Actions is building the GitHub image, or the Docker image, and hosting it on Docker Hub. Okay, while we wait for those images to build, I'm gonna look at this code here. Okay, can you explain this for a layman? I'm not super familiar with buffers. So I had someone that was working for me actually built this buffer, so I'm not super familiar with how it works. So keep in mind that each event is only like 20 seconds and shouldn't be that many location data points. Please explain again. These are done building. Okay. Reports just finished. XTS just finished. Okay, go ahead and do a rollout restart on reports in NextTS, and then open the logs. We're going to try to make another request. Yeah, so we're using like a buffer, so when we run the event simulation, but if we don't draw all of these slices into the index and the user opens up the event reconstruction and tries to skip it to the end, what would happen? Interesting. Let's test this again here, see if we can get this event reconstruction to work. Okay, nice. It's about to open up the pods, or open up the logs for the pod. There we go. Nice. Good. Okay. So let's see if it opens up any other logs. No. Okay, good. Now we're going to, let's watch this event. This one's not rendering. Let's show you this one. Strange. Oh, there we go. Okay. That one looked good. So this one's at 2:28:07 p.m. 2:28:07 p.m. All right. It's still undefined. Wait, did we not do a rollout restart on Next.ts? Let's do a rollout restart on Next.ts too. I think maybe the front end didn't get restarted, or we didn't restart the pod, so it didn't pull the fresh image. We made changes, but I don't think that image, the image that's running this front end right now, had the latest changes. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. Man, this AWS outage. Good. Okay, so nice, it sent the event media ID that time. So this one should work. Okay, so once we see the latest one here, we'll see it in a minute. So I think this is the coaching log right here. Nice, it's processing the frames here. Okay. Nice, it just finished processing, generating the PDF. It just sent the data to the communication service. Okay, here's the event. Beautiful. It just included the event reconstruction, guys. Let's watch the event. Let's see if it gets my phone when I pull my phone out of my pocket. Man, when my hand is over the phone, it struggles a little bit, huh? I don't think it got the phone. No, it got the phone in one frame. I missed it. Let me see again. I didn't even see it. Let's watch it again. It says it got the phone object. Still don't see the phone. Huh. Interesting. I don't even know where it got. It said it did detect the phone in one of the frames, which is interesting. Though I don't see it still. Phone was detected in one frame. During your panic button event. Was that a panic button? Wait, what? Hold on, now I'm confused. Oh, it was a panic button. Okay. Okay, so let's go. Man, AWS outage. Every single page is just low. So this is done. We might not get to all of these guys today. I kind of got a little excited with the tasks today. We'll definitely be moving these to the Friday stream. A lot of these. Let's see. I want to do this, but I am concerned. I had Codex start looking into this. I just don't. Okay, review this code again and think very deeply about this. I want to make sure that we don't introduce any breaking changes and only performance optimizations. Review the event reconstruction code in the Next.ts repository and also Scrubby. And review all of the functionality, the WebSocket, the buffer, etc. Alright, here's Codex. Pretty much, guys, we're trying to, right now, this event reconstruction, it uses a buffer. And let's see, let's go back to our page. Hold on. Let's go back to coaching. Look at this. Okay. So okay. Yeah, so I don't know what's happening here. Let's see. Socket's not open. Socket connection succeeded. Sync animate's not ready. There we go. So the idea is that the user can jump ahead and jump back easily, right? Scroll ahead, scroll back, and this is a buffer swap. So let me refresh this again. I'm gonna pass. So I'm gonna tell. Yeah, so sometimes when we load the embed link, first, it won't always connect to the WebSocket. I think this might be due to an AWS outage that caused some network delays. But sometimes it won't connect to the WebSocket. Then sometimes the sync animate object is not ready. And then after the entire simulation is done playing, you can't play it again. When the buffer swaps are working, it works nice. Review what we need to do to improve the performance. We'll see if we have any more coffee left in the pot, guys. So I'll be right. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna see if there's any hot coffee left in the pot here. Can you open up the scrubby logs using kubectl and review the logs? I've been running a lot of simulations today. You should be able to look at the logs and learn something. Nice. Excuse me. It's looking through the logs. Yeah, go for any and all optimizations that you can make. Just run git status, make sure we check out to a new branch with an appropriate name, and then make those changes, commit them, and push to origin. Let's see. Guys, and when I wait for the agents, I just kind of training on old school RuneScape. Not a super hardcore like gaming guy, but um I played old school RuneScape when I was a kid, and my friend got me back on it recently. And it's a nice like second monitor AFK type of game. Um, so if anyone's wondering what that is in the background, that's me just training range on a gemstone crab in old school RuneScape while we're doing some vibe coding here. Um, so Codex is working on this. I might go make sure that it created branches in the right um, repositories. Okay, nice. And then also it's working in Next. And it checked us out to the right branch there too. Cool, good. Still working on it. So pretty much, guys, we're working on this optimization right now. So first we got this reconstruction inside of our coaching analysis. So we're creating this coaching analysis where we take these dash cam events and we do an analysis using open source models on these events. So trying to find relevant objects that are important. So really fleet, you can imagine there's a fleet manager and they have a fleet of vehicles, right? It could be last mile distribution, it could be HVAC, could be a lawn mowing company, could be an over the road company, could be any type of distribution or service really of any kind. And so you got a fleet manager and he has cameras in his vehicles and the cameras are recording events. And the fleet manager's job is to try to implement some sort of safety program, or he needs to make sure that drivers are safe. And so pretty much we're going to be ingesting these events. So the camera records things at the edge. So it's looking for like quick acceleration, hard turn, accident, following too closely, lane departure warning, any type of distraction, edge events that we can detect. Then we send it to our system. We're running it through another analysis, looking for relevant objects and the distance of those objects. And then we're building a report or a coaching report for a driver. Hey there, vibe coding. Hey, 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 Cully. I can't pronounce your name right now, sorry. But thanks for being here. So, and I think this is AWS here, the delay taking forever to render our PDF. But pretty much we were able to get these reconstruction into this event. Wow. That's AWS, pretty sure. See if we can get our reconstruction to load up. So guys, this is the AWS outage again here. Hold on. This is AWS S3 that's normally rendering these reports, and we can't get them to render now. But pretty much, let me see if I can find. This is the event simulation, and we have Codex trying to improve the buffer right now. But pretty much, we get events. We run our analysis on them, and then we're building this 3D reconstruction, building a coaching report for the driver, and also this video analysis. Let's try one more time to see if the report will pull up. Yeah, Cully. This is actually interesting, but this is related to there was an AWS outage the last couple days, so you may have had some issue logging into some apps. Any big companies or services that you use, they've all had interruptions to their service. So what's interesting is there's been, if you notice any delay on any of the major services that you're using, a lot of those delays are actually related to this AWS outage, is my understanding. For attendance was down for a whole day. Yeah, there you go. So, so yeah. Let's check Codex again here. Codex is making the changes. Very good. So this may be a good huh. It's kind of been intermittent throughout today. Sometimes let's see if the video will render. Yeah, Cully. You can check out some of my other live streams. They're on Twitch and YouTube, but I've been vibe coding a lot and really had a ton of success. So I built this using open source models, built this entire coaching analysis tool. So you can see I'm doing object detection here and estimating the depth of the objects. And then what I'm doing is I'm building these coaching reports. Really want to show it to you, but it's having some difficulty right now. I have one though in my downloads. Let me see. Probably right here. Yeah, so like here's what the PDF actually looks like. So the idea is that then I build this transcript, right? So the driver was involved in a forward collision warning event, and we detected these objects in the scene, right? So I try to detect the objects in the scene, detect the distance of those objects, and then I build these coaching questions, right? So then we build these coaching questions for the driver. So we ask him like, were you paying enough attention to the road and surrounding vehicles when the event happened? How do you prove awareness? Do you understand the importance of maintaining a safe following distance? So the idea is you kind of like proactively distribute this learning content to the driver to try to get in front of an accident. And how long I've been doing this? Doing these involved in these different businesses for more than 10 years, but probably coding for about almost 6-7 years now. I really started out in business, and I eventually worked with a lot of smart people, and self-taught myself how to program by working with having lots of smart people working for me, working with lots of smart people, and kind of kind of just learned by experience really over time. Um, yes, yes, long time. Um, Now a lot of what I'm doing now though would have never been possible without vibe coding, right? So I definitely had certain limitations, like even like hardcore algorithmic programming. Like right now, if you put me on leak code and you said gave me the hard problems, I may be struggling through some of those problems. Um, so really all the complex algorithm stuff, any really it expanded the scope, right? And so the scope of what I've been able to do has really increased. Yeah, exactly. Me too. Me too. It's pretty amazing actually. Um shut up. Okay, here it's rendering now. So this is actually rendering the PDF, embedding the PDF inside of the Chrome's PDF render tool, which is pretty cool. But this is the app, right? So let me trying to go to the see, even when I click map here, there's a delay getting to my own map, which is pretty crazy. Let's see, let me click it again here. Yeah, so here's the home map. This is a 3D map. This is the location. So like this is actually my vehicle right now. We can look at the location of the vehicle. We can look at vehicle trips. So like here you can actually see this is a trip that I took today. Um, I can go back to yesterday. Here's like different vehicle trips I took yesterday, different events. This is actually these events are like me in the vehicle because of this AWS thing. It's not going to load, of course. But these are events. Then you've got geozones. So you can add geozones and get arrival or depart events. Yeah, that's okay, Cully. I think if really if you're just interested in vibe coding, you'll learn a lot about what I'm doing. Because I'm using a lot of like version control. So you'll probably learn about Git version control. And one important thing with vibe coding too is that sometimes the changes are so complex and you're not reading every line of code. So it's very important to have version control, right? So like if I come and I run every repository that I'm working in, if I come to terminal, every repository that I'm working in, if I run git status or I run git log, you can see there's a history of my git log, right? And so um, pretty much what I can do is I can go backwards, right? So if I make any changes, and let me see if I can pull up GitHub too to show you kind of what I mean. And I'm sure you might be familiar with GitHub, but right, like if I come to GitHub, you can see these are all the commits, right? And so like say that I introduce some new commit and that commit has some breaking changes. So like here it can show you all the stuff that got added in this commit, stuff that got removed in the commit. And pretty much like if this commit introduced changes that broke your project, you could go backwards to the previous commit and then start fresh. And I mean that's something simple that can definitely help. But yeah, with AI, just like things that I do too is tell it, hey, use industry best practices. If you don't have understanding of something, say like explain it for a layman or explain it for like a second grader or a fifth grader, right? Just to try to simplify, because sometimes it gets so overly intelligent that it's complex for me too. So I'll say, "Hey, explain this for a layman." Like even some of this buffer stuff that I'm working on now with Codex, it was pretty complicated, and at some point I said, "Explain this for a layman," because it was getting a little complicated for me. Um, Also, you can kinda have it, go find things in the code base, look at all alternatives, ask it, "Hey, I wanna use open source tech. Please go find all the open source libraries and compare the advantages and disadvantages of each of them." Best at that, put it in layman terms, and that really helped. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So Codex is almost done with this. Could not resolve host name. It tried to do a push. I don't know why it wasn't it failed on the push. It should have asked me to do the push. Nice. Okay. Summarizing the updates. And then I'm using this thing called Whisper Flow, which is a text to speech tool. And honestly, all these tools kind of start to add up. Next thing you know, you've got like 5 different AI tools and they all cost $15 each. And you're spending like um, whatever the bill starts to get high. But I am using this Whisper Flow too, which is a speech to text tool. So um can you try to push to origin again? You can ask me for my permission if needed. And so I can just speak into my computer microphone and it will convert my speech into text here, which makes it really easy. My dream now that I've realized what I is try to vibe code a text-based role-playing game with the complexity of Dragon Age. Just no graphics. Game time, equipment, quest, NPC, campaign, care requests, and all kind of dude, that would be cool. I mean, I know people are really focused on gaming right now, are building games with AI. Uh, okay, let's push this. Let's see. Okay, yes. Okay, it pushed the commits to origin. So now let me go. Okay, so it's the front end service. So let me go to the front end service. Let's go to pull request. I'm off. I'm on GitHub, guys. Off stream here. Um, yeah, that would be really cool, Cully. Really cool. Definitely keep me updated on that. I'd like to learn more about that. But yeah, what's cool about vibe coding, even for me, like stuff that I mean, like in this business too, there's a lot of competitors that have a lot more money and resource than I do. Um, and sometimes I would kind of get a little down, like, hey, like you need outside capital to even try to compete on some of the features and functionality of some of these large competitors. But now with vibe coding, it really makes it feel like the world is at your fingertips. A World of Warcraft availability scheduler now that's cool. Actually, I play a WoW Classic and old school RuneScape, and one of the things I was interested in is old school RuneScape has a client called RuneLite that a lot of people use. That's a Java uh, service, I guess, that runs. Or I'm not sure if it's written in Java. I don't know. I think it is. If I go to GitHub RuneLite, this is an open source RuneScape client, and this client has a marketplace of plugins. So I know, like, I think the World of Warcraft plugins are written in Lua, um, or something. And this is in Java. And actually, one of the things I was maybe going to do on stream was try to build some plugin for fun on top of RuneLite, inside of the RuneLite ecosystem. But cool. I didn't know. That's pretty cool that you built a WoW availability scheduler. I know, like, some people on hardcore WoW. Check out my WoW scheduler on GitHub. It's there. There are two versions. One is just base scheduler, and one is much more complex to help a Mythic plus key running community. Cool. And where do I find that? I just go to, like, the WoW GitHub or something? That's pretty cool. I can share a link with you if you... Yeah, sure, please. Okay, tons of changes to the buffer. Like, I mean, even if I read... I mean, here's an example of how many changes that Codex made to this buffer. In... I mean, I'm just going to test aggressively. I'm not even going to bother to try to read through every line of this code, right? I'm just going to kind of aggressively test this after we deploy it. Let's go ahead and merge this. Oh, cool. I'm saving that link. Hey, I like your README, man. Nice and clean. Very nice. Cool, dude. I love it. Yeah, but normally, sometimes I'll see these AI READMEs and they're filled with, like, emojis and tons of crap, right? But anyways, let's come back here to my... Let me just put that up on the screen while I merge these PRs. Let's see. Okay, let's go to duplicate. Go to next TS. Well, let me go to Scrubby, repository Scrubby. Merge this PR. Create the PR and then merge it. Go to actions. Sorry, guys, I'm looking at GitHub too on a different screen here. Thanks for letting me share a project. Yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate it. I'm actually gonna look into that a little bit because I'm interested. What's the language for this? Okay, it's in TypeScript, JavaScript. So is this actually the fast from So I'm not that familiar with WoW. I'm like a gamer, but I'm not a super hardcore gamer. But does this, like, connect to the WoW API or something to pull information from the WoW API, or does this Backend exposes server. Okay, you're using SSE events, which is kind of cool, man. I'm actually I'm also, and of course, we may have to kind of cut stream a little early, guys, today, just because it's frustrating. I can't even get to my website right now, but I'm using server sent events and Kafka. I don't know if you've heard of Apache Kafka. Um, but if my website would load, hold on, let's see. We use server sent events to stream location data from devices to our map. So pretty cool that you're using SSE. Hey, I like the passion though, Cully. I like how you're thinking about different ideas and stuff. That'll take you somewhere for sure. Let's go to network. This is pretty insane that the AWS outage is like there's this backlog that's causing interruptions days after. Um, okay, so like here's an example of why it's X'd out. There's some cores error right now. I don't know why, but pretty much this is server sent events. And so this is actually sending using a service called Apache Kafka to send data to our front end. So kind of cool stuff there. Educational games for students for biology. Awesome, man. Cool. I love it. And so is this something, are you in school for computer science, or are you just kind of self-teaching yourself coding with AI, which I think is a great thing to do. I've really accelerated my learning with AI to an incredible level. Account, a scrubby, and next. Okay, let's do a rollout restart on both of these. Let's do a rollout restart on the Next.ts repository and Scrubby, and then open the logs, and we're going to test. Even Whisper Flow's moving a little slow. Oh, cool. Awesome, man. Well, happy to have you here. I'm doing lots of fun stuff. We're also going to be working on a business called Blue Cactus AI, which let me see. Can you start the Cactus Web front end page so I can open it on localhost? So this is a voice agent business. So I've used Twilio and some OpenAI APIs to build a voice agent. And this is something that I'm gonna start on streams. I'm gonna be working on this business more, but I'm building a miniature or an agent's business, pretty much, where small and medium sized businesses can set up support and sales agents. Um, see if we can start this. Let's see. So this is another business that we'll be working on together on stream. So this is Blue Cactus AI, and pretty much I've built out, and this is all functional now. We're going to be refactoring it with the latest OpenAI voice model, or the latest OpenAI voice API, and maybe also their agent builder API. But pretty much this has tool calling, right? So it could do a tool call to Google Calendar, and also like an SMS tool call. So you can think like normally businesses have like a call directory. So you would call in and they'd say press 1 for Joe, or press 3 for Jimmy, or press 4 for Bob. And you used to have to kind of wait through that till press 1, press 2, press 3, press 4. And now with a generative AI agent, you could just call, say, hey, I need to connect with Bob. And so, you can do generative phone directory, where the AI agent can interpret your request and then make a tool call and direct that call directly to the right person, instead of having this static press 1 for this, press 2 for this, press 4 for this. Then maybe also someone wants to schedule a demo, so we could do a tool call to Google Calendar, fetch Google Calendar availability, and then have the agent handle that orchestration. So we're going to be working on kind of like building like a brain, or a brain that can handle tool calling orchestration based off of a request. So like classify a request, determine what the request is, and then have the agent kind of think like a human and maybe work together with other agents, and have like a multi-agent workflow, where really like one agent is the tool, and it has an identity that, hey, you're a Google Calendar scheduling expert, and the other agent has a different identity, like, hey, you're the orchestration agent, where you're going to ingest these requests, classify them, and then pass them to the tool. So really, this is something that we're going to be working on, and we're going to be getting this website up. And we have a whole front end for this, and a whole web app. And we're going to be deploying this on AWS EKS. So all of this is deployed on Kubernetes. You may have heard of Kubernetes before. But let's get back to here. Let's test this. Let's come back here. Okay. Will that restart? Did we do that already? Oh, no, let's send this. Then we're going to test this, make sure that the buffer still works. And this system has about 13 microservices. Let's cancel this. Oh, there we go. Oh, AWS timed out. So this is Kubernetes. These are like pods that are deployed as containers inside of Kubernetes. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I'm interested in that. Is heard of Terso? It's an awesome database that's free up to 5 gigabytes and 100 databases, which I find totally. No. Right now I'm running a Postgres on RDS. And I'm kind of it's like managed RDS Postgres. But that's interesting. I am interested in memory. I was gonna use some sort of like they have a tool called FAISS from Meta. They have different like vector storage tools and key value storage. So like one key value tool I'm using right now is Redis. And we use Redis for all different types of stuff on our platform. So I was maybe even going to think about using Redis for storing some context that we determine relevant for a like preferences, right, for a specific user, and then load that context in. Interesting. Yo, look into that Turo. Let me write that down. Hold on. Turo. Turo. Let me make sure I have your WoW code saved so I can take a peek at it. Okay, cool. Extension. Okay, let's see. I just want this to do the rollout restart right now. I'll try to run npm run dev here. It's fine to make sure that it executes. Not sure why it's doing that though right now. I wanted it to do the rollout restart. No. No, I want you to go look at the deployment names in the pod YAML for Scrubby V2 and Next.ts, and then do a rollout restart with kubectl. Yeah, cool. I'm bookmarking these. SQLite. Interesting. So that's like what they're using SQLite on your phone. I know that there's a tool Cluely. I think they use a SQLite database. Yeah, that's interesting for maybe storing context for the agent. Maybe you don't need a full SQL database, I guess, or a full relational, like a database. Postgres is pretty heavy for just context storage, I guess. Gotcha. Okay, Scruppy just restarted. Here's Next.ts restarting. Nice. Okay, now open the logs for Scrubby V2. I'm about to test. Whisper flow is even delayed. I'm definitely going to look into SQLite, though. Colorian. Is that how you pronounce it? Colorian? I don't need logs for the next JS front end, but that's okay. It just interrupted the log right there. It's Coolarian. Coolarian. Cuh. I guess I'm saying that with like pronouncing the U as an A. Coolarian. Gotcha. Coolarian. I'll try to remember that. Hard C, yeah. Coolarian. Gotcha. Ready for testing. Okay. Okay, I don't think you opened up the scrubby logs. Please open up the scrubby logs and then I'm going to test on the front end. So it's a lot of this too, Coolarian. It's a lot of opening up the logs, testing, reviewing the logs, and using the agent to do all this has been my experience. Cool. Lots of people do. Okay, I guess that's easier. Okay, cool. We got the log open. Now let's try this. This is the Redis response. Now I can't tell if this is AWS or if this is our new code having some challenges. Let's find one where we know it was working if possible. So this is a tough one. Hmm? Yeah, look at this. Is it a... Is it a type error? Hmm. And then usually what you do in this scenario, it's kind of... this is really tough because it's like you got the AWS network problem, and then I'm also trying to make major changes. So like right now, I literally can't tell if this is a network issue or an actual issue with the logic. Can you add very detailed logging? I'm trying to understand if this is working or not, or if we introduce breaking changes with the latest updates. Yeah, no problem. I'm not seeing anything that seems relevant printing to the logs. What's going on? Hmm. It's probably the code, actually. Let's see if there's any. There's no front end logs, is there? From Kubernetes? Okay, hey. Glad you're back. I think we may have introduced some okay, we're gonna push some more logging here. Let's go to Scrubby, okay. Okay, next to this. Okay, I think it just pushed to both of the repositories. Let's go open up pull requests and merge them. Okay, create pull request. And let's go to Scrubby. Okay. Okay, merge this. Let's check Scrubby. Actions. Check Next.js. Actions. Okay, both of these repositories are building. Let's see. Yeah, no problem. That's kind of what I want. Cull is just working together, kind of, right? Vibing. I don't have my music, I guess, shut off. Let me see why that happened. Try to get some good vibes open here. Okay, cool. Yeah, music was off for a little while there, huh? Yeah, let me know if the music call is too loud too, and I can lower it, or if my voice is too loud. I can kind of play with those levels. I also kind of switch between like classical, lo-fi, a little bit of soft house. But just try to get some vibes going. Cool. Me too. Okay, done building, done building. Okay, go ahead and do a rollout restart on the next TS deployment and the Scrubby V2 deployment. It's timing out. Yeah, so this is AWS Elastic Kubernetes service, and I'm just restarting a pod using their command line tools. So this is actually yeah. Yeah, this is actually I think the AWS outage right now. Like if I ask ChatGPT, which this is cool. I don't know if I hit like this option in spacebar, I can pop open this ChatGPT overlay. I don't know if you've done this yet, but it's this really cool overlay. It makes it nice so I don't have to switch screens. Just paste this in here. I'm gonna say, can you tell me what this error is? It doesn't seem like it's related to my app. Yeah. So it's actually related to this AWS DNS outage. What I've heard is that someone made a DNS misconfiguration at AWS, and that caused a lot of requests to build up, like backlog of millions. We're talking like probably trillions of requests from these massive enterprise companies. And that backlog got so big that somehow it had this cascading effect and like caused issues in all AWS region, like many different like subnets inside of a region. And so literally you're kind of still, all this delay is still that backlog getting flushed out, I think. Yeah, so what I've learned, my favorite agent, good question. So what I've learned is GPT-5 Mini is good, but it almost feels like it got overly intelligent and overly verbose. It's like one thing I noticed is I heard that and I don't know if this is 100% accurate. I don't remember where I read it or heard it, but I heard GPT-5 was maybe the first model that was truly trained on synthetic data. It's like all the available data on the internet, they've already compressed it and used that to train the model. But GPT-5 was the first model where they used synthetic data, my understanding, to train the model. And one thing I noticed with GPT-5 is like it really ratcheted up in terms of intelligence, but it seemed kind of like really verbose. But it's really good for like very detailed planning, giving you every alternative possible. What I noticed about Sonnet, then I'm using Sonnet 4.5. Sonnet 4.5 is very like surgical, very precise. You know, if I needed to kind of travel through my code base and make a non-breaking change, I implement that, or I will use Sonnet. Codex, though, seems to work longer. It can make these very large sweeping changes, and it's a lot more precise than GPT-5. Like, way more precise, way more concise. Like, when it's telling me what it did, it's easier for me to read through it. Sometimes when GPT-5, like Mini, is telling me what it did, it's like I feel like I'm like reading a different language almost, right? Or it's like above my reading level. Um, but right now it's like a combination. I'm using like Codex, and then today I'm just doing Grok Code Fast 1 because I just wanted to test it because it's just it's Elon's tool. I'm also live streaming on X, so I figured I'd give it a try. But really, I'm kind of using Codex to do planning, to do larger changes, more complex changes. And then I've been using Sonnet to do sanity check. So maybe if I have a complex change or I need heavy duty planning or a heavy duty issue or bug, Codex. If I need to get surgical, or maybe things are getting overly complex and I need to like go backwards and get like a high level readout, a simplified readout, I'll use Sonnet. Entire character creation. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Sonnet. Sonnet does feel like Sonnet for me, I've got the best like pair coding vibe, right? Like almost like I'm sitting there with another human who's coding with me. Now, one interesting thing is one thing I've noticed about Claude and GPT though, is it's not focused, and maybe if you're very, very new to coding, and this is something you probably don't even have to think about, but like with this system like this, to make it scalable, it needs to be kind of modular. Like this system that you're looking at, it's broken into 13 small microservices that and then Kubernetes takes those containers and then runs the workload on the compute. But pretty much once abstraction becomes important, and like architecture at some point becomes important when you're actually trying to build a system that can be scalable. And one thing I've noticed is Gemini understands like the big system thinking better than any other model. So if you ever need to make the code more modular, or separate your code into smaller pieces, I've noticed Gemini is good for that. Gemini, I just think that maybe they don't have as much compute to dedicate to AI because they have so many other services that are in production. But like Gemini, when it works really good, it works. But my experience and why I have been scared to run it is sometimes I'll run Gemini, it would like stop working halfway through. And then I'd have to go backwards, and it was kind of a pain in the butt. But Gemini, to me, has the best big system architecture thinking, right? Like if you need to think about, hey, what's a production, like stable, best practice, industry standard way to like distribute this large volume of data, or to make sure that this service is modular and scalable, stuff like that, right? Yeah. So let's do this again. See if we can run the command again here. Okay, nice. Now let's do Scrubby V2. It's like each one right now. What I'm doing is I'm rolling out these pods. So like you'll see here in a second. And this is Kubernetes. If you're just doing personal projects, you probably won't need to deploy on Kubernetes. Like you might even be able to just deploy on Vercel. Vercel is like a easy place where you can deploy some stuff for free. Why is the command? Also, if you're in terminal, one thing that really helped me is Control R. You can look back in your old terminal commands or your old CLI commands. So I can type Scrubby and it'll pull up anything that has the keyword Scrubby in it. Let's just... could have sworn... let me see if it's over here. Control R, Scrubby. Alright, let's just... I don't know what the name of the deployment is right now, but this will find it. Okay, do the rollout restart of Scrubby V2. And Railway. Got the package for both. No. Netlify and Railway. Railway. I've heard of Amplify from AWS. I know someone that's using that. Yeah, to be honest, right now I'm so deep into Kubernetes and AWS. Gemini directly from your code without juggling keys. This kind of looks cool though. You're definitely onto some new tools. Netlify, let me bookmark this. Yeah, Cursor. I haven't switched to Cursor yet. I'm using VS Code and GitHub Copilot inside of VS Code. I really haven't like felt like I had to try Cursor yet. I've heard really good things about it though. I just heard some story that the marketplace of plugins, they're not diligently vetting them. So you just need to be careful with which plugins you install, I think. Okay, so let's see. CTL, Git pods, namespace events. Okay, nice. That's running. Let's open up the scrubby pods. Let's add the pod name here. What? Come on. Okay. Open and follow the logs for this pod. Yeah, Cursor's like the hot new vibe coding IDE right now. It's just kind of funny because it's a fork, I hear, of VS Code. So actually they forked VS Code, and then they started with the VS Code, because VS Code is open source. So they started with that open source base of VS Code and then built on top of it. I don't know if Microsoft is too happy about that right now. Okay. Okay, cool. We just opened up the logs. Let's come back here. Let's close down these other events here. Okay. Then I'm going to open up Dev Console here. So I go to, I'm sure you're familiar with Dev Console, but go to Inspect. I'm going to Console. And I'm going to clear it just to get everything out of there. And then we're going to view event. Well, we're probably going to have to actually open it over here too. So let's open it here. Console. Ooh. Nice. It didn't draw the path line though, but it's kind of like, it's like working better a little. Seems like it's working faster. This is cool, man. This is really excites me. One thing I really, one dream I have is using the AI goggles and putting those on. So like you're a fleet manager and you have a fleet, and your fleet driver gets into a major accident, and maybe you could be on the phone, and a lot of these companies, they're over the road, so like the driver is not even in the same state, right? They're on a work order in a different state, but you're the fleet manager, you're like hundreds of miles away, but there's a bad accident, like a really bad, and you need to kind of like be looking at the scene. You need as much context as you can get so you can make fast decisions. You need to communicate with insurance. You need to do any type of arrangements that you need to do. Anyone that you need to communicate with, right? Police report, all this stuff. You need to coach your driver on how to handle it in the moment. So like one cool thing would be to put on the AI goggles and build this 3D digital twin of the event, and then the fleet manager can use the goggles to go like visit the scene of the event with the goggles on, a simulated scene, so he can almost be there with the driver, with the cop, reviewing the event, watching a replay of the event, right? So, and really, I'm thinking with AI that this 3D stuff, because really to get to AGI, computer vision, I think, is critical. So like to truly get to AGI, the humanoid robot walks into a room, detects all objects in the room, builds a 3D digital twin of the whole environment. So like it maps out a 3D simulation of the whole room, and that's how it kind of moves around like a human, right? Interacts with stuff like a human. And so I'm kind of trying to take that same digital twin concept and use it here, is kind of the idea. Okay, cool, dude. Yeah, just keep, AI is like an expert. The way I think about AI too is you just have to be careful, because it's like a Einstein intern. So like it's like if you had an intern that was like a genius, but he still makes intern mistakes, right? And so anyways, yeah, it's kind of cool because you just kind of have to coach it like you would an intern. But it's like you got all these interns in every major field, an expert in every area that's like an Einstein intern. The most interesting one person one time described GPT as a smart graduate student. Exactly. Now, one really interesting thing, and I don't want to get too crazy with the big ideas here, but like one core thing to think about is like when you think about training these models, you have like there's a big question of when a baby's born, does it watch its parents and mimic its parents? And then like it watches you do an action and then it mimics that action? Or does a baby like just do stuff and then learn from experience, right? So like one thing they're doing with AI is like with a baby as a human, you kind of build this lifelong algorithm where you're learning and experiencing, and over time you kind of adjusting your own weights, right? So if you imagine you're a model and you have these weights, right? And as you go through life, you learn stuff and you start adjusting your weights. Like one thing, the models don't have continual learning yet, right? So they train the model once on a ton of data. The model has its weights, and then they deploy the model into the market, and the weights don't adjust in real time, right? And it doesn't hold memory in the same way that a human does. They're trying to hold persistent memory. But I think a lot of what's really where the agent starts to feel human-like is at like runtime. So it's they call it like test time compute. So it spins up the thread and it holds all of this context in the in that session, but you can only hold so much context in that session, right? But anyways, I guess the idea now is that, hey, let's compress as much knowledge as we possibly can, and then train the model once, and then deploy that model into the real world, and then use guardrails to make sure that it doesn't do anything it's not supposed to do, right? First, I think the traditional, like, machine learning or reinforcement learning would be more like, go try to do stuff in the real world, and then look at the results, and then depending on the results, adjust the weights. This is more like, hey, let's go as big as we can, compress as much knowledge as we can, make the model as general as we can and as big as we can, and then like deploy it, and then use these guardrails, put these guardrails around it. But just like, the interesting thing is, when a baby's born, you don't like compress all this knowledge and then give it to the baby, and the baby just goes and just does its thing, all right? So it's just, yeah, it's a fascinating concept. I really butchered that explanation, but there's a really good interview with Robert Sutton and Dwarkesh. He's the father. This one right here, Dwarkesh. If you're interested in podcast, really great podcast. And this guy was like the father of reinforcement learning, but it's really cool. And I haven't even read all the research papers yet, but I'm really fascinated in like the research and the scaling laws. And I guess right now they know that, hey, if the more data that we train these models on, it gets more intelligent by X amount. And until those scaling laws or that trend line deviates, this train is going to keep moving, and it's not going to stop. But a really cool interview, kind of talks about what I was just trying to describe. But you'll learn much better from this video. But anyways, so cool. We got that. We still need to do some work on this, but let's just notate this as in progress. Can't type right now. Cool. We'll do this. We need to remove objects. We're gonna add live video to the mobile app. Maybe not today. Probably on the next stream. And usually, Cole, I stream on I try to, and I'm still adjusting the schedule, as we get more viewers, and I'm looking at the analytics to see when people are online, when the audience is online, and I'm trying to adjust my time depending on when the audience is online. So this is subject to change, but usually I'm trying to get on like Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Central Time, Fridays at 4 p.m. Central, and then I'm doing Saturday or Sunday, usually sometime between like 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Time I'll be getting on. But I think that might be a good place to stop for today. We're definitely gonna wrap up on the next stream. We'll wrap this up. We're going to start cleaning up the PDF. We're gonna start removing. Yeah, no problem, Cole. Thanks for being here, man. And hopefully I'll see you again. I'll be on Friday, and lots of fun stuff coming up, and just lots of vibe coding. So, and I'll check out those projects and some of those tools. It's good for me. Cool, Cole. Well, hey, thanks for being here. I'm gonna check out those tools you sent, and I'll see you on the next stream. Thanks everyone for joining, and if you watched the whole stream, really appreciate that. It means a lot. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next stream.